There we go. All right, welcome to the Festival of Hope, Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving. We decided, 2020 being what it is, that we would join each other for an hour today on this U.S. Thanksgiving. And everyone was welcome to bring whatever they want to drink or eat if you're in the midst of that. So please feel free to snack or eat. I'm drinking actually Christmas blend coffee. I know it's early, but it makes me happy. So Christmas blend coffee mixed with a little eggnog is what I got going on today. All right, so if you, maybe some of you heard on, we checked in, I do some check-ins on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Tuesday I was talking about gratitude. And I was talking about how it can be really challenging to find things for which we can be grateful, even when it's a day like Thanksgiving, maybe especially when it's a day like Thanksgiving where everyone's talking about gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And I just wanted to highlight the idea that in the ways that grief and joy can sit side by side, pain, hardship, and also blessings can sit side by side, that I feel like abundance and absence really sit side by side as well. And that we can have both abundant blessings and also a significant amount of absence in our lives. And if we can hold both of those, make space for both of those, they each get to be honored. And so we had this conversation, briefly. Basically, I set it out into the universe, and my dear friend Kath, who's on this call, sent me a beautiful poem called Gratitude Goulash. And I'm going to read it for you because I love the idea of it. And then I thought what we would do is collectively, all of us together, create our own gratitude goulash. So we're going to mix in the abundance with the absence, and we're going to put as many things as we can in. Think of it like a word art where you just write in different words, but not only our own. We're going to do it with each other. So when someone shares their absence, I'm going to write it on my paper, and then someone else will share an abundance. We're going to write that on the paper. So we're making gratitude goulash. But here's the poem. It was written by Doug Van Koss. Gratitude goulash. Take down your biggest pot, bigger than you think you need. Slice, dice, or cut into manageable pieces, memories of unbounded joy, and the decimated remains of life's calamitous events. Now throw them in the pot. Look around for missed ingredients. There are bound to be some. Add spring water, local honey, vinegar, a pinch of heaven, a smidgen of hell. Bring this mess to a rolling boil. Cover, reduce heat, simmer on a back burner for as long as it takes, stirring occasionally. When your kitchen has a mysterious scent, ask a close friend to dinner. That's us, you guys. We are all the close friends. We've been asked to this dinner. Get out a couple of bowls. They don't need to match. Just before serving, fold in a cup of success and a quarter pound of failure. Then be very liberal with paprika. This is goulash after all. Welcome your friend to the table solemnly. Welcome your friend to the table. Solemnly bless what's there. Taste the bitter and the sweet. One bite is all you'll need, enough to taste the complex flavors of gratitude. Now, forget that goulash. Take your friend out to dinner. Order something you've never tried. I love the idea of mixing the hard stuff with the great stuff. So this is what I've done on my paper. I'm welcoming you to do whatever works for you. Remember, this is like free form. Everybody do their own thing. This is a big old pot. I just drew a picture of a pot. And I have a multitude of pencils sitting in front of me. And so what I'd love to do, if you're comfortable with it, is go ahead and unmute. And we're gonna both use the chat and our voices since there's enough of us here. I think we have a manageable group. Let's start throwing some stuff in this goulash. So
drawing.
Okay, good, Sandy. What's the first thing you want to put in? Sandy, I didn't hear what it was that you put in.
Oh, family. I would put family.
Okay, I love that. All right, family. Now for me, I don't know.
Did you say draw? Actually, like draw?
You do whatever you want. I'm just going to write the word family in my.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Sounds good.
Art was not my deal.
Exactly. I could draw some stick figures, but I think what I'm going to do is just write the word. And then you can put it in wherever you want. For me, family represents both abundance and absence. And so I think I'm going to write it twice, and I'm going to write it in 2 different colors just for the heck of it. All right. What else shall we add?
Our widowed community.
Awesome. I love that. That's always a part of the things I'm grateful for on Thanksgiving.
Adding in Zoom.
I like to add, I like to add good health.
Good health. Okay.
I put dish soap on your shopping list.
Or is Alexa picking up good health for us somewhere?
What was that?
Someone
Good.
said,
Sounded like Alexa said that she put good health on our shopping list.
I hope so.
I would add laughter.
Thank
I love that.
Okay, I'm gonna put in that I'm really missing my family. So that's gonna go in a different color.
I want to put in sleep, lack of sleep.
Thank you. Lack of sleep.
Oh,
Mix that in some goulash.
yes.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Put that in. I can't wait to see what you guys are doing with this. I'm just going to show you. I'm just writing them everywhere. Like, this is my goulash pot. But if I start getting fancy, I might try to draw an ingredient. Nobody knows. I ran a 5K this morning, so I'm going to put a 5K with my daughter as something that was a gift. Social distance 5K instead of Thanksgiving dinner.
Morning walks.
I love that. Thank you.
I arrived at the meeting late. Can someone tell me what we're doing?
You surely can. We're taking a piece of paper, and what we're making is what we're calling gratitude goulash. And it is the mixture of the things that we're abundantly grateful for and the things that we are really missing. So we're mixing abundance and absence in the same pot.
Got it. I'm going to go get some paper.
Yeah, and then feel free to add as we go. So I heard morning walks. I want to make sure I get that one on mine. Also, please, let's put names in here, you guys.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say, can we each say our loved ones' names? And
Absolutely. They should all be in here. It might be a good idea. Actually, let's say them out loud for sure, but type them, because if we want to make sure we're getting them all in, we want to make sure everybody's got them spelled correctly and that we know who they belong with. So I put Phil in there. I'm missing him, and he their favorite thing, his family had a tradition of playing a full game of tag football, and it would take the entire day. So none of them were helping with cooking or cleaning or anything. The only thing they did was play football all day long. So I am missing the crazy football game today. And the leader of that crazy football game.
I'm missing the 35 people that I usually host for Thanksgiving. There's no one here today.
I think that is a perfect thing to put in our goulash. Thank you. Okay.
What was, I didn't hear the last thing.
She's missing the 35 people that would usually be in her house right this minute. And there's no one at her house right now. So maybe we should recognize empty your houses as names of our goulashes. And don't forget, you've got lots of names right here in the chat. So if you're going backwards, the easy way to make sure you get them all, if you want to make sure to get them all, go back to Phil. His is the first one. And then you can slide down. That way you don't forget anybody. So I'm putting Bruce in right now. Bruce is going in my goulash. I bet Bruce never imagined himself being a goulash ingredient. I'm going to guess that that's probably not. Probably not. And then we have Cole, he's going in. Jenny, what kind of ingredient would Cole be?
Oh my God, he would be like sassy spicy.
He's like some Tabasco.
Actually, you know what he would be? He would be the pepper plant. There's a, oh, who makes it? There's a sauce that I haven't thought about in forever. It was his favorite thing, but it was the pepper plant sauce. So that's what he would be.
That's what he'd be. Phil would be a jalapeno. He would want us to have jalapenos in there. It's getting kind of spicy in here. Wendy, what about Bruce? What kind of ingredient would Bruce be?
Would be laughter.
Okay, very good. So he doesn't mind being goulash then? Sade, what about Likan? What would he be?
Something really spicy.
I'm telling you guys, I don't know if we're going to be.
Habanero peppers.
Oh boy. Okay. Joe.
And maybe beer as well.
And what?
And beer.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I think we should put some of that in here. Put a little beer in for Likan who wants some.
Yes, Samuel Adams was his favorite.
Nice. Joe, what about Stephanie? What kind of ingredient would she be?
Definitely champagne.
Oh, yay. Look, Jenny's got you covered right now.
Cheers, cheers to you both, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, and just for everyone, Stephanie is spelled with an F, Stefani. Okay, Melissa, what about Skip? What kind of ingredient is he going to be?
You know, he would probably be something completely unexpected that everyone else thinks is kind of gross to combine with this.
Okay,
He like
good.
the weirdest food combinations.
Nice. So he's going to be something odd. He's going to be an odd one in here. All right, I love that. And what color would Skip be?
Oh, blue probably. That was his favorite color. Or red, perhaps, if it's a little more like a food color.
Oh, I mean, we've got goulash going on. I feel like all colors are welcome. Okay, Rick, what about, is it Coney?
Connie.
It's Connie.
Thank you.
Margarita.
We are going to have a very boozy goulash, as it turns out right now.
Spicy and boozy. I like it.
That's the only way to be.
Spicy and boozy. And what about a color for Connie?
A nice mauve.
Oh, nice. Okay. I like
Rose color, I guess.
Awesome. Christy, what about Vincent? I'm putting him in next.
Apple pie, and he would be green, which was his favorite color.
Awesome. Okay, apple pie. And have you had any apple pie?
Not recently.
Okay, well, this is it. We're putting him in now as apple. Apple pie for Vincent. Great. Okay, Noreen, what about Marty?
Marty would be mischief with a side of spuds.
I like that. We haven't had any spuds yet. That's perfect. Okay. Putting Marty in brown, but I'm just thinking of the outside of the spuds. Cecilia, Charles,
Yes.
kind of.
Fruit salad. He loved my fruit salad, and his color would be green because he had green eyes.
Okay, you got it. Fruit salad for Charles. You guys, I'm really glad that we only have to take one bite of this. Delicious after, because I think it might have a very interesting taste. Diane, what about Vern? I'm putting a little cloud around the fruit salad, so you know, Cecilia. Okay, Diane, if you can hear me, come back to us whenever you're ready with Vern's color and what kind of ingredient might he be. Kath, what about Big Ricky? What's he?
I was thinking just a little bit of redwood tree.
Okay. Now, see, that's great because we can draw a tree in. I think I can manage a tree. A tree, I think I can do.
Oh, gosh.
Yummy, Kath.
Diane, do we have you yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, then Linda, how about Tony?
Would be honey because he was the beekeeper
Ah,
and his favorite color is very dull. He liked brown. So we'll put some gravy in for brown.
oh, good. Okay, we've got some gravy. I also am tempted to put just like a little bee in here for him. How long was he a beekeeper? Was he a beekeeper for very long, Linda?
Around 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Long time.
we had up to 30 hives at one point.
Holy moly. You were doing a good job for the environment too. We need those bees.
They're very calming.
Do you still have them?
No, but I'm thinking about, there's something that's called a nuke, which is a half size of a
Oh.
bee box. And I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking about getting one in the spring.
Ah, awesome. I bet you learned a lot. Did you do it together or was it mostly his passion project?
So we did it together. We had bees on our decks and we had bees. Actually, he built observation hives. So we had bees in the house that went out tubes and we could watch them inside the house. He was
So cool.
crazy for bees.
Aw. Well,
And
look at put a little
They
bee.
taught me patience.
That's your bee for him
Oh, thank you.
in the middle of my delicious goulash. And no, and I mean, I feel safe in this community. No one's going to judge my art because it's not very good. Okay, Allison, how about Bob? What kind of ingredient, what color should we use for him?
Drink of choice, Scotch and dry.
Okay.
Love passion fruit sponge. I'd always have to make one for his birthday. And favorite color, probably blue. Yeah.
Nice. I'm
He
going
was
to
in the Navy and the police force, and they were both blue colors. I couldn't get away from blue, so
escape
yeah.
it. I'm putting a little passion fruit in here for him.
Oh, good on you.
I don't know if anyone else would know it's a passion fruit, but since it's goulash, I don't think it matters.
With everything else that's gone in, I don't think so.
I'm going to put Bob's name next to it, so I'll remember that's a passion fruit. Dawn, how about Michael? Let me see if I see you. I don't see you. And if,
Stepped away.
okay, there we go. Okay, well, we've got Michael in here, so that's good. Lynn, how about Gary? What kind of ingredients and what color?
He would be hot chocolate
Ooh, hot chocolate.
and green.
Excellent. Okay, I'm drawing a hot chocolate mug in here for Gary. Excellent. Deborah, what about Rudy?
Giants football.
Awesome. Do we have, I mean, the football is going to be delicious in the goulash, I feel. I'm going to put Rudy, Deborah next to Phil so that they can, enjoy that football together, since that was his deal as well. Okay, and then how about?
It looks like Dawn came back.
Oh, good.
Yes, sorry.
No worries, Dawn. We were wondering what color might we have for Michael. I put him in already, but I'm going to put a strip around him.
Blue, he loved blue.
Okay.
And did we get chips in there? He was a chip hound.
Oh, nice. What kind of chips? Any specific one?
Oh, well, I think potato chips would be his favorite.
Excellent. Did he have a brand that he preferred?
No, not really.
He was an equal, right. He was an equal opportunist when it came to chips, apparently.
Okay.
Yes. All chips.
I mean, that's the first bit of real crunch we've had in our goulash, so that's nice. Excellent.
I don't know, those redwood trees might be a little crunchy.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
I mean, that's
delicious.
hot. Awesome. Okay, Sandy, what about George? Let's do one for George and one for John.
George loved Cabernet Sauvignon. Loved it. And he was extremely generous. He was like everybody's big brother. He just, you know, if he found out someone had a need, he was right there. I just can't explain it. It was just amazing. And John, very gregarious, Irish and English. Loved shepherd's pie.
Nice.
You know, and just always laughter, always laughing all the time. Just amazing. I loved it. Loved him. Loved both of them. Not at the same time, mind you.
Side by side, kind of.
Yeah, that would have been a good confession, let me tell you.
That would have been good. That would have made a memorable Thanksgiving for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put some laughter by John and also a little, well, I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to tell, but it's supposed to be a shamrock. So that's for John. Let's see. Sarah, how about Greg?
We'll add a little slime to this because he loved oysters. That man. Oysters. It's disgusting, but he loved them.
Delicious.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, which I'm not. But anyway, and his color would be turquoise,
Okay.
which is the color of the ocean that he loved to dive in.
I love that. Okay. He's getting a wave and an oyster because we don't want to miss out on the sliminess that we could possibly have. Delicious.
Sarah, in Pennsylvania, we make oyster stuffing for Thanksgiving. It's just like bread stuffing, but you throw oysters in it too.
I've heard of that. Do you eat it, Linda? Do you like it? Is that something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to grow up eating it though.
It's so good.
I love that. Okay, one of the things that we have in here, Dawn, did we get to you? Did we talk about Mike? We did. She said, I love that you said you guys will be cooking together today. So I imagine that many of us are missing someone that we would have been cooking with. And it might not specifically be our spouse or partner, but also like our children, our friends, our family members, like whomever. So let's put that in the pot. Missing cooking together. And Kathy, we were making a goulash, which might sound like a crazy thing. I think you might have popped in later. So I am going to, what we're mixing is wonderful things with hard things, and we're remembering our people. So if you're interested in sharing your person's name and if they had an ingredient that they would want to add to a crazy goulash, what that might be, no pressure to do it if you're not. But if you'd like to, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, my husband's name was Richard, and he would put in pumpkin cheesecake.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. That's going to be delicious, you guys. All right, that's something I might be able to draw.
Diane put hers in the chat.
Oh, good.
And she said Vern's color would be red since he was an Ohio State fan. His goulash ingredient would be tomatoes.
Oh, tomatoes. Oh, thank goodness. We have something to balance out.
Something that actually goes in goulash.
Good job. All right. Thanks, Vern. We needed a little balance in here.
That's easy to draw.
Yes, and easy to draw and same color that he liked anyway. So I'm putting Vern some tomatoes.
Yeah, it can be the base under, you know, the football and the oysters and the redwood tree.
I mean, it's sounding really good as we go along. Very delicious. All right, let's see what else we've got. And Diane says she's listening as she's working in the kitchen while cooking. So she is the best multitasker I know, first of all. And Diane, we're sending you a lot of love while you're cooking. Oh my gosh, Sarah, let's hear about these 3 turkeys at once.
Yeah, Greg's whole family would gather at his mother's house, and it was almost 50 people. And so he would have all three going at once, a roasted turkey, a turkey on the smoker, and frying a turkey out in the front yard.
Holy.
Pretty impressive. And he loved it. He loved it.
How long did this process take?
We'd get up at, before dawn, and usually people would be eating by, I guess, 2 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
I love it. Okay, Stephanie, did we talk about Ron?
Michelle, can I see what you've done so far? Are you having words or are you having words and pictures?
A combination. Believe it or not, that's a passion fruit. Here's the hot chocolate. There's a bee. So there's the tree, a football. So I'm just kind of mixing it all up. And this is what it looks like from back here. So see, this is the edge of my pot. And here I've written missing cooking with the people we love around this edge. And then the more we keep adding, I'm just gonna keep adding little pictures and notes and whatever comes to mind. Okay, Stephanie, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Would you tell me about Ron? I see you put it in the chat.
Yes, I just put it in the chat. He, I guess his color would be blue.
Okay, very good.
And his favorite drink was gin and tonic.
All righty, we'll throw that
And
in.
when I think about describing him, I think of wisdom and humor, especially his self-deprecating humor.
Was he fun at a party?
Oh, everybody loved him, men and women, and yeah, he was just a great listener, and yeah, everybody just loved to be with him. So I felt honored that he chose me.
I love that. All right, how about let's do a round of, let me see. Okay, I want to make sure I haven't forgotten anything in our goulash. Disappeared to get my pumpkin pie out of the oven. Good, Dawn. We can't have that burning. Excellent. And
Michelle, I think there's a couple people who maybe don't know that we're making goulash. Looks like a couple people came in a little bit late.
actually, I also see, Lynn, I know you turned off your camera, but if you want to add anything, I would be happy to hear that. But let me recap quickly if there's anyone who doesn't know what the heck we're doing. We're adding all of the things together that have been things for which we're grateful, and also the things that we're missing very much. And we're putting them into a goulash. I'm going to read it again to the end, because I think that it's, having done the exercise, it will even make more sense. But I want to first say, if there's anyone I've forgotten who had something they want to share, please feel free to make yourselves known. I'm also curious. So I'll tell you about Phil. He was not the life of the party. He was the opposite of that. He liked to be on the wall where no one could see him unless he was playing football. And so he would not be found in the center of all things, except for when there were kids around. He did like to marshal all of the kids and engage them in some kind of game. If, like I said, football, if it was Thanksgiving. So he'd be the one like signaling me across the room, it's time to go when it was time. So I'm curious about any of your people. Were you equally happy to be at Thanksgiving for as long as possible? Was one of you more or less interested in staying or going?
Cole was most definitely the life of every party, every room he walked into. He would dress up in costume so that he would be the life of the party. Like, he spent many a birthday in a tutu, like. So I was more the one who would be like, okay, it's time to go, or found myself begrudgingly dressing up as well. I'm not a costume person, but just like, fine, this is what we're doing. Like,
I want you to know I'm drawing a tutu under Cole's name right now, because I feel like that's appropriate. And Joe, I'm adding the champagne glass for Stephanie. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else have a life of the party person, or a person who was ready to go home while you were still kicking up your heels?
I would have to tell my husband to turn the music down a little bit. Turn it down. The music would get loud and the voices would get louder. And we both just totally enjoyed all the family members that were able to come, and the kids. And we could look at each other's eyes and know that it was all good. So I missed that.
Yeah, I bet. And Cecilia, this is the first holiday for you, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So I think we should add that. I'm going to add that into my goulash, is just for acknowledging those of you who are walking through your first holiday season without your people. That's a hard thing. I'm going to put that next to missing our loved ones who we're cooking with. Okay, anybody else have a life of the party person or a non-life of the party person?
Rudy was the life of the party everywhere we went, no matter where we went or what type of people we were around.
And did he have any signature moves, Deborah? Or signature, you know, some people have signature things. Apparently Cole wore a tutu.
Dance, we had our own dance that we did together.
Oh,
something that just kind of evolved over the years, just from dancing together all the time, and we had our own dance. And yeah.
I love that, and I bet you're missing the heck out of that to this holiday. When would you do this dance? Like
anywhere, everywhere, music would come on, and we look at each other, and we just start dancing.
Just start going for it. I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Melissa, were you gonna say something?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so Skip's family was scattered and not near where we lived, and so it was my family that we were spending Thanksgiving with usually. And it kind of depended. So, you know, I would be like in the kitchen helping my aunt, you know, plate things up or passing an ingredient or whatever, and he would be in the other room telling stories and entertaining anyone that was around him. But then if we were outside, because of his health, he would get cold much quicker and easier than other people, and he was always really self-conscious about saying anything. So I would just kind of have to keep an eye on him to be like, does it look like he's getting cold? Do we need to go? So yeah. And Deborah, what you were just saying about having your own dance. Skip and I don't have our own dance, but we have kind of our own language just over the years, you know, you've just words that are like not actually the way you say that word or not the way you're supposed to use it in a sentence. And a couple of words that are just made up ones that can mean different things depending on the intonation. And yeah, I'm really missing that today.
Oh, Melissa, I love that. Are there any words that would be appropriate to share? Any of your made up words?
Yeah, the base of the made up words is MRF, MRF.
Okay.
And that could mean that could mean it really does depend on intonation. It could mean hello, it could mean I love you, it could mean I'm sad, it could mean come here. And it could also be like our name for each other.
Oh, okay. I put it in the goulash. I feel like we needed made up language in there for sure to go with the oysters. Thanks, Melissa. Joe was. Well, go ahead, Sade.
Oh no, so I was talking about I was gonna say, yeah, he was definitely the life of the party, always had these wild stories, but I just remembered you know, people would, his accent, he had a very Nigerian accent, and so that was a thing, and it's like, oh, you have an accent, and he would say, so do you, and they're like, no, I don't. And then the other thing is you know, it would come up that he was a doctor, and they'll be like, oh, so what kind of doctor are you? And he would say, a good one.
Aw. That's what I'm going to put under his name, a good one. I love that. Lynn, I want you to know, so Lynn said she's having a hard day today. I'm writing Larry in, and I'm putting him in the goulash. And since you said he was the life of every party and extremely social, I'm going to, let's see, what will I put on him? Maybe I'll put some balloons. Maybe music.
A nice party hat.
Oh, a party hat. Thanks, Kath. That's it. Party hat for Larry. And Lynn, if you have anything you want to put in there, you tell me.
Music. I didn't get that. Music.
I'm
I
putting.
love music.
I know you must be missing the heck out of him today. Thank you for sharing him with us. And we're sending you, and virtual hugs I know are not the same as in-person hugs, but we discovered over the camp weekend that virtual hugs were actually meant something. So, all right, everybody, we're virtual hugging for you, all of us, but for you, Lynn, especially right this minute while you're struggling. Virtual hugs for you.
I only have 2 friends in the whole world, and one of them called when this started, and I thought, good grief, I'm not going to talk to anybody else the whole day. This 1 hour from 12 to 1, and she calls and, wishing me happy Thanksgiving, and it's like, oh, please. And then my other friend, these are the 2 that took care of me when I was so sick with COVID, and the other one just brought me a bunch of food, and while this was going on, and I thought, really? Really? Does everything happen from 12 to 1? But I was already a mess before I heard from both of them, and I thought, oh gosh, I don't want to bring everybody else down. But yeah, I was kind of looking forward to today just to see everybody, and
Yeah.
everything happened all at once. But
well, you know what?
yeah,
I think we should also put in our goulash is some tears because, because they're real and because we're all shedding them and we're mixing abundance with absence. So if you're drawing, I encourage you to put some tears in there. They're going to add some salt and, the reality of who we're missing, I think, is important. And Lynn, I'm so glad you decided to come. I'm sorry everything happened at once. Life 2020, am I right? All right, so let's do that. Then Joe, I was wondering about Stephanie and her champagne. Was that a party or was that her love? I'm a champagne fan myself, so I'm curious about, did she have a favorite brand? And did she have it at parties? Was that a party drink?
Whenever we had drinks together, she would have champagne. I was the Jameson Irish whiskey guy, and she was the champagne person. I remember the first weekend I met her mom, and she was like, well, get a champagne so we can celebrate. And I was like, what about some Irish whiskey for me? And she was like, no, tonight you have to give up the whiskey. You gotta have the champagne. And when her mom heard that story, she went out and bought some Jamesons.
Nice. But did you end up having to drink the champagne anyways? Is what
I had a little bit of the champagne.
There you go.
And she was very much the party person. Over the course of our 15 years together, I had to learn to be more of an extrovert to keep up with her.
Wow. Yeah. Are you missing that?
I am.
Yeah. I bet. Well, I'm celebrating her with a little champagne next to her name here today.
Thank you.
Dawn, how about you?
What was that? I'm
Any
sorry.
memory you'd like to share, but what we're talking about specifically is whether our people were more extroverted or introverted, whether they were life of parties or you had to get to know them before they were the life of the party.
He was kind of middle of the road, just the warmest, kindest person, and took an interest in people and what they were doing at party. I mean, what they were at parties, he would take an interest in what's going on in their life. And he was just the nicest man.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing him with us. I know you're missing him. The other thing I'm putting in my soup is some hearts. I'm gonna, Diane, this is for you partly. I know how you love them, but I'm gonna draw a heart for all of you, for every single one of you going inside the goulash. So if you're joining me, then you need 24 hearts in your soup/goulash, which you can sprinkle liberally everywhere you want. My favorite part of this is I'm going to hang this up in my office and I'm going to be thinking of all of you for the whole of the holiday season because we've got the opportunity to share some of these. Anybody else have anything they want to share, a memory or something about their person that they they feel, there we go, Noreen.
Did you guys ever hear of that saying, there's no such thing as strangers, but friends you haven't met yet? That would be Marty. Before he got sober, he was the life of the party. Very much so. But yeah, that's what I loved about him. He was able to draw anybody in, whether old or young, babies, or, and I've found since he passed that I've kind of picked that up. So I'm grateful for that. I would have always been like super shy. But yeah, so I'm grateful that he kind of embodied that and kind of inspired me to kind of pick that up and do the same. So yeah, I miss that. I do.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Noreen, because I was wondering the same. Like, for people who their person was the one who connected them with others, like was naturally and easily the one who connects them with others, then it kind of puts us in a place of reaching out in a different way and maybe modeling some of what you've witnessed over the years as you saw your person make those natural connections.
But you want to know what though, Michelle, too? Going to my first Camp Widow, I think was my first experience with that. Just going downstairs for the first time and being brave and, just doing that. I think it was a good structured way to kind of start dipping my toes into that. So
yeah,
I'm grateful.
Yeah, well, we're super happy to have you have been a part of that, because I know finding your way into doing that is hard. That's why we do regional social groups as well, because it's like, okay, this is a space where I know other people share something with me, and but I, recognizing too that this is a very different holiday season for a number of reasons, and that a lot of what there's a lot going on in our goulash that is a mixture of missing the person that we were spending our life with, and also missing the normal sort of experience we would expect to have even in a grieving, even when we're grieving. So there's a lot of that also in our pot. Is there anything else we want to add? Any other things you're missing?
Michelle,
Yes.
this is Lynn. I'm so sorry. I don't feel so well today, so I'm staying
No worries.
behind the screen. But Gary was the life of the party. He never met a stranger. For his work, he was the local fish and game warden, and oh my gosh, he knew everybody. He knew who fished, who didn't fish. But in the family, he was known for his hugs. He was the hugger.
For his what?
His hugs.
Oh.
Yeah, he loved to do that. But he had a story about everything. You name it, he had a story for it. Well,
I love that. And also, Lynn, you bring up a good point. I feel like I should put hugging inside this pot as something that we're missing. I'm missing for sure. I don't know about all of you, but I'm missing.
he was the cook. He and his brother came to my sister-in-law and I 40 years ago and said, we hate turkey. We're never going to have turkey for Thanksgiving. And so this is the deal. If we can just be the cooks and you and my sister-in-law Dottie and I just clean up for us and help with the dishes, we'll do the cooking. And they then had a competition for 30 years. Every time it was something different. We never had turkey. The kids grew up, Mary, if you were to ask her, she grew up without ever having turkey for Thanksgiving. And sometimes they had hot dogs because they didn't like what was being prepared. So yeah, it was a fun time. It was his favorite time.
Thanks so much, Lynn. Jake, I want you to know that I'm putting Betsy in. So Jake put in the chat that Betsy would be adding steamed crabs with lots of Old Bay seasoning. So we haven't had a lot of seasoning going on in our goulash, so we probably are in need of that. And also that her color would be purple. So I'm writing Betsy in purple. And right into this top portion of my pot. And I'm gonna dot in some pretend dots that look like seasoning to me, but since no one else is looking at it besides me, probably doesn't matter if it really looks like seasoning. Yes, hugs in the goulash, I got that. What else are we missing that we I wanna give a space for both the things that we know we're grateful for, and we'll do maybe a lightning round of that so we can add that in, but I wanna make sure we're getting the things we're missing. We're missing our people, we're missing cooking with them, we're missing them being the life of these parties. Seems like many of our loved ones were lives of the party. What else are we missing? We've got some
Sure
tears.
that I'm not sure we want to put this in the goulash, but
I don't, it can't get worse. I feel this is
I
not.
don't know.
The
I
taste
don't
of,
know.
the taste
I am missing the sound of sea lions right now.
Aw.
Cole's family lived at the top of a hill in Monterey that had the most beautiful view of Monterey Bay. And we would go to sleep at night. That's where we spent every Thanksgiving. And we would go to sleep at night with the window cracked open for all the very fresh, cool air that courses through their house during this month every year. And we would go to sleep and wake up every night to the sound of sea lions barking at Fisherman's Wharf. And it just was like, it's what I texted his family with today, that I'm really missing the sound of those sea lions.
I love that. And I think they should definitely go in, but we're into the edge of the goulash. We won't put the sea lions in, just the sound.
Okay, that's good. Because they're pretty stinky creatures, in case you
probably don't want the whole of them in there.
No,
okay, Pamela says Mike was very introverted, especially on holidays. He would have just preferred it to be him and her. And he always made orange rolls on Thanksgiving morning. Then we would watch the Thanksgiving parade together. I made the rolls today for the first time since he passed in 2016. I love that, Pam. I'm gonna put Mike in and I'll draw what I think of when I think of a roll. Lord knows what that's gonna look like, but I'm gonna know that it's rolls for Mike and for you since he's making them for you. All righty. Okay, so I've got some rolls in here.
Joseph says we should probably add some cheese.
Oh, good idea. Okay, we'll do, how many of our loved ones loved cheese? Okay, I mean all around, right? Okay, cheese was a good half of us. A good half of us think cheese. Good idea. We don't even have any noodles in here, you guys. We've got some oysters, but no noodles, no rice, no carbs of any kind. Okay, I've got cheese in here.
We have some really special things in the chat right now. Stephanie says she's missing the certainty of knowing a holiday would not be sad.
Love that. I'm going to put that in. So how about Stephanie, would easy joy, are you missing easy joy? Would that summarize that?
I'm sorry. Are you asking me?
I was just wondering if I wrote the words easy joy, that sounds to me like just missing the ease of when it's joyful, because it was easy to
Yes.
All right. I'm putting that in.
Knowing that a holiday was going to be okay.
Yeah. So maybe we'll put certainty in there too.
I mean, I'm doing fine today, but there's always that uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going to be this year?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great thing to add. Okay. And all right, now we've got 8 minutes left. I'm going to read the poem again because now that we've mixed it all up. Oh, also, I don't know, everybody, if anybody else wants to, feel free to show their photo. This is what I have going on, an assortment. So, oh yay, look at all these pots. I love that. Excellent. Yes. And we're going to have these together so we can save them and think of each other as we go. All right. And yeah, Lynn says it's harder than she expected. And Lynn, I have to say that, step by step, I think it's hard to predict any given day. And sometimes the ones you expect to be hard are easier than expected. The ones you thought would be okay are harder than expected. I'm just going to remind everyone too, self-care is so important, and taking some time to whatever fills your heart, whether, you're watching something late, you're listening to music, be really kind to yourself, because I think of it like a grief hangover. Sometimes on the really hard days, the next day you're just like, why am I so worn out? And it's because those big feelings come with, an expression in your body. So make sure you're drinking water, and if you have a time to, move about a little, it's always really helpful to give that to your bodies. All right, so gratitude goulash, I'm going to read it again. We have about 6 more minutes, and then I want to do lightning round of anything you want to add in that you are feeling grateful for today. And that could even just be, being able to sit in this chair, being able to be here with us. Pick anything that you can find, and we'll put that all in the goulash too. Gratitude goulash. Take down your biggest pot, bigger than you think you need. Slice, dice, or cut into manageable pieces memories of unbounded joy and the decimated remains of life's calamitous events. Now throw them in the pot. Look around for missing ingredients. There are bound to be some. Add spring water, local honey, vinegar, a pinch of heaven, a smidgen of hell. Bring this mess to a rolling boil, cover, reduce heat, simmer on a back burner for as long as it takes, stirring occasionally. When your kitchen has a mysterious scent, ask a close friend to dinner. Get out a couple of bowls, they need not match. Just before serving, fold in a cup of success and a 1/4 pound of failure. Then be very liberal with the paprika. This is goulash after all. Welcome your friend to the table. Solemnly bless what's there. Taste the bitter and the sweet. 1 bite is all you'll need, enough to taste the complex flavors of gratitude. Now, forget the goulash. Take your friend out to dinner. Order something you've never tried. I really love that we could bring all of this together into our goulash pot and that we don't have to decide it's delicious. To me, that's like the big message, is that it doesn't have to be delicious. We're not saying put all this in, it's going to taste good and it's going to be super easy and you're going to want a whole pot of it. What we're saying is it's the reality of the bitter and the sweet. So let's lightning round. And actually, I'm just going to give you the opportunity, now that I've said it out loud, to do abundance or to do absence. So lightning round of just one thing. So put them in the chat if you would. One thing you're either feeling an abundance of or one thing you're feeling an absence of. We're going to make that the last bit of our pot. And then we're going to close out our time together with Kath McCormack, who's going to give us an Apache blessing. It feels like a great way to kind of round out Thanksgiving. So I'm going to read these out loud. Yes, Pam, I will share that poem later. I love it as well. Sarah says, thank you for making goulash together and talking about our people. I'm so glad. She Zoomed with her family today and no one mentioned Greg. And this is the first Thanksgiving without him. I'm so grateful that we could talk about it and make sure that Greg got in the goulash, Sarah, and be able to be in this together. So thank you for sharing him with us. So we'll do grateful for acknowledging our people. So acknowledgement is one gratitude word if you want to put that in. Jenny's feeling grateful for this community and for all of us. Sarah, same, abundance of gratitude for all of us. Sade, peace and love. Joe, our wedding anniversary, it's coming up November 28th. You know what, Joe, the thing I want to say to you is that I continue to celebrate the years that Phil's love changed my life, and that makes the number keep growing. So I'm celebrating that love with you today. Kath is grateful for emotion. Rick, thankful for Widowed Village support. Wendy, grateful she's safe and well. Lynn is grateful for friends. Melissa is grateful for the presence of loved ones, alive and dead, socially distant and virtual. I love that, Melissa. Dawn, abundance of gratitude for soaring spirits and everyone here today. We're super grateful for you as well. Love knowing that it will get better, slowly but surely, Cecilia, step by step. Stephanie's grateful for a strong sense of purpose, meaningful work that gives me a reason to get up every day, and knowing Ron would be proud of me. The definition of thankful is pleased and relieved. With that in mind, I'm thankful for Soaring Spirits and all its programs. I love that, pleased and relieved. Thank you for that. Pamela's grateful for the widowed friends she's made the last few years at Camp Widow. Sandy is grateful for an abundance of gratitude for memories. Oh, that's lovely. Let's put memories in our goulash for sure. Christy's thankful for her cats. I feel like we should put cats and all fur animals in there. So anybody who's got a fur animal they're grateful for, let's put them in. Lynn is grateful for Widowed Village. Thank you, Lynn. We're so glad that you were able to be here with us today. Deborah is grateful for family. Noreen, grateful for hugs from my littles. Oh, I bet. I'm terribly jealous of that, Noreen. Deborah is grateful for moving on with family and friends in Widowed Village. And Linda is grateful for neighbors and friends and doctors who have been so supportive. Okay, so we've got that all in. Everybody has their own take on this, and even if you didn't write it down, that's okay, because this is always a come as you are party. But I hope that you wrote it in your hearts, because to be able to witness for each other and be with each other, to say our people's names first of all, and to celebrate their memory, and also to acknowledge the bitter and the sweet. So I'm super grateful that you all took the time to come out today and join us. And I want to close with Kath, if you would, giving us the Apache blessing.
Apache blessing is always a little bit different. You can find a lot of different varieties, and you might want to look for the one that resonates most with you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries and your pain. May the breeze blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and know its beauty, even in the midst of its challenges, all the days of your life.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. And that made me put a moon and a sun in the goulash. All right, friends, please feel free to unmute. And Jenny, I think we can close our recording by saying thank you so much, all of you, for being a part of the Festival of Hope. Let's close that recording, and we'll look forward to seeing our friends here next week.